What's going on, Oxbox fam? We are here with another Oxtails. This is actually Oxtails Chapter 4. Today we have none other than Mill of Mill Media. I know some of y'all might have saw her on the panel maybe a week or so ago, but I figured we'll get her on the Oxtails and learn some more info, just get to know her a little better. So without further ado, I will bring up Mill and we'll just get into it, y'all.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Hey, what's going on, Mill? How you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well, very well. So a pleasure to have you. Thanks for taking the time out.
Of course. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, no problem at all. So, Mill, what is it that you do like in sports?
Yeah, so basically, my page, I make content for mainly the New York Knicks because I'm a huge fan of them. Sometimes I'll make reels. It could be comedic reels, comedy. Um, or it can just be informational. Sometimes I'll do post game analysis, stuff like that, mainly for the New York Knicks right now. I'm trying to, make it more diverse and include more NBA content in general, not
Okay.
just the Knicks. I'm also trying to do more football because I am a Giants fan as well. So,
New York Giants too, huh?
yeah.
Okay,
But,
New York to
this
the core.
this season has not been going that great, so it's a little tough trying to do some great content for them.
Right, right. Well, okay. So just to let everybody know that's watching, Mill, where can they find your content? Like on what platforms? What's the handle? Go ahead and plug your content.
Got you. Yeah, you can find me on Instagram at mill.media. And I'm also on Twitter. My Twitter handle is different though. It's Mill Sports Media. So make sure you know the difference there. And I'm also on YouTube right now. I do make YouTube videos for Nick's brand right now called Big Nick Energy. So occasionally there I will make a few YouTube
That's
videos.
fire.
I know the name is great.
That's fire. Yeah.
Big Nick Energy.
Yeah. TikTok. You got TikTok too, or
Oh yeah. I got TikTok. It's Mill Sports Media as well.
okay, for sure, for sure. Y'all make sure y'all go follow Mill, subscribe to Mill on all those platforms. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. Um, so we got that out the way. Let's take a step back, Mill. So you're from New York, where?
Yeah, I'm from Queens, New York.
Queens. Okay, shout out Queens, shout out Queens. So you
Yep.
born and raised?
Yeah. Born here, raised here. Don't know if I'm ever leaving, but we'll see.
Okay, I hear that a lot of New Yorkers. They're like, I live in New York. What's the point? I don't need to go anywhere. The best place to
It's
be.
just, I feel like everywhere else is so different compared to New York. It's hard to leave this lifestyle.
Right. And how and like in what way?
I don't know. There's so many things. Like, I used to have like a vacation house in Pennsylvania, and the way that it was so different because, I mean, I don't know if it's like this in every state, but I mean, New York stays up all night, like literally. Everything's open till like midnight. When I was in Pennsylvania, everything would close so early, and I think I would miss that about New York, having that
Right.
freedom to go out late and everything.
Okay. Okay. So just to get into things, how was it growing up in Queens? Like you got a like big family, like how was it?
I'm a family of six. I only have sisters, no brothers.
Wow.
Um, I had a good childhood growing up. I do live in a good area, so I'm very thankful for that. I didn't have to deal with any unfortunate stuff. I do live in like an apartment though, so I would have liked to live in a real house and have like a backyard
Yeah.
and everything. I really didn't get that experience. Everyone wants that typical childhood experience of having the backyard and everything like that. But that's New York. Everyone is
Right.
either living in an apartment or like a condo or a building, anything like that. But I have
Five sisters. That's crazy.
oh four. Did I say five? Sorry, I meant three. But a
Okay.
family of six. So my parents
Oh,
and
got
three
you.
sisters.
Parents are
Yeah.
four. Okay. Well, still three sisters is crazy. Y'all like close in age?
My oldest sister is 10 years older than me, so not that close. But yeah, we're all pretty close.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, what about like school and stuff? You play sports or what? Like, 'cause
Yeah. I used.
I mentioned it on the panel. I had saw the video And I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, okay, maybe Mill got some game. So like what? Are you a hooper or what?
Yeah, I used to be. I mean, I started playing like I would say like 8 or 9 years old. And then in middle school, I was on the middle school team at my school, and I was also in a outside league for quite a long time. I would say like I don't know, maybe like 7 to 8 years. I was in that league because it was straight out of elementary school, and then I ended when I ended high school. So it was a pretty long time I was in that league. Um, it wasn't AAU, but it was like something similar to that
Yeah,
nature.
like you
Different
kind of
teams
like
within.
like a city league or like why like state league or
It was
something.
more of a local league. Like in my community, they would have different teams. So we wouldn't travel anywhere. It would stay in that gym. All the teams
Mm-hmm.
would play there. But it was cool. Um, so yeah, I did used to hoop. I was also on the team in high school, but it's a little complicated because the high school I used to go to, they didn't have any sports teams. So I had
Mm.
to go to a different school to try out for their team.
Oh,
I
okay.
did make it and I did play for a year, but that process was just a little bit too complicated, having to play
Yeah.
for a different school and traveling there. So I didn't pursue it any like further, trying out again the next year.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really play like that anymore. I
Right.
occasionally hoop around, but yeah, I'm not
Right.
like a crazy hooper right now.
Okay. Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. So like your family like a like a sports family or is
Yeah,
it just you that's a sports head?
my oldest sister used to play basketball. She was also like me, and she used to play in a league. But my other sisters, not really. My dad, though, he's the one that got me and her into sports. He's a big NBA head. He loves sports, mainly the NBA, but he loves NFL and baseball too. So he's
Mm.
really the one that got me into playing, and he got me into watching the Knicks as well.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. So like what so going from hooping and then playing in the leagues and playing growing up and your father loving basketball, your sister being a hooper, like what made you want to do like this, like in sports media? Like what
Yeah.
what what was it that drew you to that?
Yeah, so you know how I said I don't really play that much anymore. But
Mm,
I still have a love for the game, and I still enjoy it so much. So I thought, I have to translate that love into something else if I'm not going to be playing. And sports media is what I thought of. You could talk about it, you can make videos about it, and I think if I'm not going to be playing, I still want to be doing something sports related. So that's why I
mm,
started my account too, to just keep it going. I think if you're passionate about something, you shouldn't just stop it. You could translate it into other things and like find other ways to pursue it.
right, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what about like other sports? You said you kind of want to get into other sports. You said you started football with
Sorry
football with
about
the
that.
jump. Oh no, don't worry about it. I'm sure you're gonna hear my kids running around the house here at certain points. So
You're
it's
good.
yeah, no problem. Um, so like what is that? Just football? You into baseball? Are you a Yankees fan, Mets fan, anything like that, or are you gonna get into that too? Or?
I got into yeah. I'm a Mets fan, not Yankees. My
Okay.
dad is split though. It's really interesting. I don't think I've ever met someone that's split. He's mainly more of a Yankees fan, but Citi Field is really close to where I live, so
Oh,
me
okay.
and him would go to a lot of Mets games. But I recently did get into baseball. I was never really a baseball head or really watched it when I was little, so I got
Mhm.
into it about a year or two ago. And when I started watching it, I actually really enjoyed it and learning, the rules and everything. And I was actually a little bit upset at myself that I never tried playing baseball or softball for girls myself. I thought
Yeah.
honestly, like just watching it, I'm so upset that I never tried it because I actually think I would have been great at it.
Yeah.
But I'll never know because that times are over. But I mean, I could still try. But
Yeah.
it would have been interesting to see how I could play in like a league or anything or on a team.
Man, I'm telling you, it's never too late. It's never too late. Actually, just to let you in on a secret. I'm actually in the process of trying to see what I got left in the tank, and I'm pretty sure I'm quite a bit older than you. I'm trying to see what I got left in the tank. I've been hearing
As a
people,
hooper?
they've been messaging me, talking bad on me, like, oh, you were talking about this NBA player and you're washed up and this and that. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna see how washed I am. So actually, I've been back in the gym, been working out. I got me a trainer. I'm about to go full throttle and just see. I'm like,
That's what's up.
let me see if I can get a contract. I'm like, forget it. I'm gonna see. So that's what I'm working on right now. I'm still doing like a little documentary. It's called Washed, because in actuality, I am a washed up athlete. I won't deny it, but I'm about to see. I want to see what's up. So if you decide you want to play a little softball, I'll go do that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's dope though, that you're doing that, and it's gonna be like a little documentary. I actually can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna work on that. But actually, I saw you talking to, I think it was Greg Anthony.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was that? What was that all about? How was that? How did you get that going on? You asked him the question about the Timbs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I actually do work with another Nick brand called Nickish. You could the hat might be backwards, but it says Nickish on here. If you can read like that.
See it. Yeah, we can see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another Nick brand I work with. They are an apparel company. They they have sweatshirts, hoodies, and they also have the podcast going. So the owner of that company, he invited me to go to the John Starks Foundation event that they had going on. So I was allowed to go there, and I was able to interview a few former Knicks players there, including Greg Anthony, as you saw, as well as John Starks himself and Allan Houston. I was also going to try
Allan
to
Houston, yeah.
Allan Houston. Herb Williams was there too, but I didn't get to interview him, and a few other like ex-Giants, but I only had time to do 3 interviews, so it was pretty cool interviewing them. I've never really interviewed anyone big like that, a celebrity, so it was my first time. I was definitely nervous about it because, how could you not be nervous if it's your first time? But right. I just had to make sure I had my questions, and they're, at the end of the day, they're human just like us, so it's nothing to be too worried about. After the interviews, I realized they're really chill guys, and they're human just like us. So did you post like the whole interviews, or did you like do clips, or? Yeah, right now I just have the clips out on like Instagram and Twitter. I don't know if I might be posting like the full thing on YouTube somewhere, but they're short clips. They're meant for like TikToks and Reels. So it wasn't like a deep dive interview that's like 10 minutes long. They were pretty quick interview questions.
Yeah. Of those 3 guys, so you said Greg Anthony,
Greg Anthony,
John Starks,
and
Allan Houston.
Yeah.
So of those 3, who had the best answers for you? Who gave you the best content?
Oof. I think I asked Allan Houston the most questions. So I would say him. His answers were very well. That's hard because some of their answers varied. For different questions, I asked one of them all the same question, but then I asked them different ones. So some of them they gave like a few words, but I would say Allan Houston because for some of the questions I asked him, he gave a very thought out answer, and it was pretty long. I still haven't posted a few clips from there because of how long it was, so I got to edit those and post them.
Right. Okay. So another question about those 3, all New York legends in their own right, in own ways. Cut one, start one, bench one, cut one. Got to start, bench, cut.
Oh no! I mean, I think I know who I'm cutting already, but I don't want to say it. Okay, start. I'm gonna go Allan Houston, pure scorer right there. Bench, John Starks. I'm fine with that because as long as I don't have to cut him. He's the event I had to go to. I can't be cutting him, and I was at his event. But unfortunately, I have to cut Greg Anthony, and he was super nice to me and had a great interview with. So I'm sorry, Mr. Anthony.
And he is a legend. Those are all legends. So just getting back into the hoop, I want to ask you, do you have? Can you drop your top 10? I want to make sure I get to it before we end this, because when we talk hoop in the Oxtails, I got to get your top 10 all time. And I got to get your top 10 present. Do you have those ready, or you got to come off the dome?
I don't have those ready actually. I'm not having I haven't really thought about it in a while. Thinking about my top 10 of all time. I know like who I considered my first top. Maybe I could say.
Well, Mil, it's okay if you don't have them ready.
Yeah.
Then that's even better because this is going to be raw. It's going to be off the dome. What you're thinking of? We need a Mil. We need that top. We need that top 10.
Yeah. For all time, let me see. Well, because I mean, number one, I'm gonna put Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Just because, Jordan, for sure. I mean, it's Jordan.
Right.
Face of the game. Number two, because I really love Kobe. Rest in peace. I'm gonna have him as Kobe.
Okay.
Number three, let's see. Let's have LeBron. I mean, he's up there with them as well. There's even debates that he's better than MJ, but that's a debate.
I don't take part in those debates, but I respect it.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure like those debates go all the time on your shows.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. Let's see.
Jordan, Kobe, Bron.
Okay. What else we got up there? I don't think I'm gonna include any Knicks, unfortunately. I mean, there's so many old time players that like I want to include in there, but for me, like I can include them obviously because they're the greatest of all time, but for me to have not watched them in real time, it's so different as a fan.
Right.
When you watch someone in real time, it's so much easier for you to put them at the top of your list or
right.
Exactly to rank them. But learning about these legends and these greats, it's harder.
Yeah.
When you weren't able to see them. Let me think.
And I mean, with that being said, too, a lot of the like as the generations go, people's top 10s are changing. Like I could understand now, like if being younger, you won't have guys like Bill Russell. Some people not gonna have Bird, which whatever. I respect that. Definitely, I do.
Yeah. I mean, like exactly, like those are the guys I would have up there, but I don't know how to rank them as well because I wasn't there in real time to see exactly who was better than who or in those matchups. Like exactly, Will Chamberlain, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
So let's get your top 5 all time, and then do your top 10 today.
All right. Number 4. Oops, sorry.
It's all good.
Before I complete my list, I want to know who your top 5 is.
You want to hear my top 5?
Yeah.
Oh, easy. I could do that. I have Kareem 1. I have Jordan 2. Magic 3. I have Tim Duncan 4. And then I have Shaquille O'Neal 5. And then I got Kobe 6. Kobe 6. Bron 7. Hakeem 8. Larry Bird 9. And Scottie Pippen 10.
That's an interesting list. You got LeBron at what, number 7? You said?
Yeah, I got Bron 7.
And Kobe 6.
Kobe 6. And I got a lot of people that got upset with me when they found that I had Scottie Pippen top 10 all time. But that's my list, though.
At number 4, then I guess I'm gonna have Kareem.
Okay, yeah, Kareem 4.
I don't want to pick just one player and keep it at number 5. I don't want it to feel like I'm leaving out anyone else. You know what I mean? Keeping number 5, but
hey, that's all right. They should have did that. Those other players should have did better. This is your list.
No, oof. I feel like Wilt, but the thing is, like his time was so different compared to the other eras that we're talking about here. It's so hard to compare them to me.
It is. So are you putting Wilt 5?
I don't want to solidify that list.
It's
But
okay. You can always come back and revise.
yeah, but yeah, you know what? Let's have him at number 5 because, you know, I feel like he was one of the first players to to be such a, I don't even know how to explain it.
Mm-hmm.
But he was just one of the first there, and I think it's important to have him on the list.
Yeah, he was so polarizing, so different, like so like unhuman like that. Today, people try to diminish and say that oh, he didn't actually score 100 points, or
Yeah,
like
I've
that
heard
didn't
that
really
before.
happen. Yeah, things like that is so
Mhm.
that's how you know how great he was. I mean, a guy that was that tall, that fast, and as strong as he was, it's crazy. But some
Yeah,
people, just because we can't do it, we look at it like, nah, that's impossible.
definitely. Yeah, that's definitely
Yeah.
how they see it, and especially
Hmm.
back then, I can imagine how everyone was about him.
Right. Oh yeah, definitely. I know it had to be crazy being back in the '60s, and playing against Will Chamberlain. Like,
Yeah.
never seen anything like this before. That had to be crazy. So, what about your present list, like today? Who's at the top of the game today to you? And in top 10, and it doesn't have to be in any particular order. Just who do you think are the top 10 guys in the league?
Yeah, so they have to be in the league right now.
Yeah, present day guys.
All
Present
right.
day.
Well, of course, number 1. Wait. So are we doing like how they are currently, or
Yeah. I want currently, like, who's like going into the league. So
going into the
the
next
season.
season?
Yeah, season
Oh,
starts in 2 weeks. Who's the best 10, like your top 10 power
yeah,
ranking
yeah.
going in there?
All right. Well, I was gonna say I thought of it like as a different question, so I was gonna say LeBron first, but
Right.
at number 1, I'm probably gonna have Jokic at
Yep.
number
Right.
1.
Okay.
Um,
Jokic.
Number 2, I'm gonna have Giannis.
Mm.
Number 3, let me think. There's a lot of good talent in the NBA right now.
Definitely.
Did you see the list came out?
I did. I didn't. I did see it. I kind of skimmed over it. I think like it
Yeah,
was a lot narrative based going on. So some of it was. I don't like Shea at 8. I can't get with
mm-hmm.
SGA at 8, but
Yeah.
that's how it is.
Number 3, I think this was on the list too. I think did they put Joel at number 3? I
Yeah,
don't know.
they did. Joel was at 3. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to put him at 3 just because I don't know. You know what? I'm
I
gonna put Steph Curry at 3. I
yeah.
feel like that's really bold, but a lot of people are saying the Warriors are winning it this season, and I think Steph Curry still obviously has it. The best
Mhm.
shooter of all time. I'm gonna put him at number 3.
Okay. Jokic, Giannis, Steph. I agree with that too. Like I wasn't happy with Joel at 3. I wasn't happy
Yeah,
with Joel at 3.
and it depends because you're obviously basing it on them going into the next season, but it's hard
Mm-hmm.
to exclude the stuff like the championships that some of these players have won, the playoff
Mm-hmm.
experience, the finals. Like, yeah, I feel like you can't just exclude that and leave it out
Yeah.
there. Like
I mean,
Steph,
Steph
yeah,
still got it. He took us out in Game 7 with a 50 point.
yeah,
With a 50-point game. That was an incredible game. So Steph still got it, without a doubt. And then I saw a video. Did you see those videos of him working out, getting ready for next season? In
in
the
the
in the
sand
sand
dunes,
dunes.
yeah.
Yeah. So he's still putting in that work.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
What was
So
that?
okay,
Number 3,
Jokic, Giannis, Steph. That's 3. So you're on 4 now.
number 4. I'm gonna put LeBron because, you know, I know he's the oldest player in the NBA right now, but he also still has it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
I mean, what he went out. He went on what 44, and I mean they lost that game 4, but he went out with 44, so he clearly still has something. That's
yeah,
fair.
I mean, like them losing that playoff series last year, that wasn't directly on him because he played bad. He didn't like necessarily play bad. It
Mm-hmm.
was obviously everything else, the injuries with everyone, Anthony Davis and everything. Um, obviously intended. I expected them to go further than that last year, but
Mm-hmm.
I think LeBron still has it. He's still one of the best in the league.
Yeah, the chat's happy with that Braun pick, so that's good. They're feeling the Braun pick. Okay.
What are we at, number 4 or 5?
Now we're at 5. Yeah, Braun at 4. Now we're at 5.
All right, number 5. I guess at number 5, I'm gonna put Embiid now.
Okay, Embiid, yeah.
Yeah, I still think he has to prove himself. Getting to further in the playoffs and possibly trying to achieve a championship. He still
Hmm.
has something to prove. Number
Okay.
6. Let's see. I might put Jimmy Butler.
Okay, Jimmy, that's nice. Number 6.
Yeah. As a Knicks fan, obviously I hated to see him play against the Knicks in the playoffs last year because he was killing us. And even during the regular season, but he's still a great scorer.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he got one of the best defenders in the league, 56. So
Yeah.
you got to be a great scorer to do that. Okay, so Jimmy at 6.
All right, number 7. Let's see who else we got in there. Oh, dang. I forget.
We haven't got Jason Tatum, Luka,
Yeah.
Dame.
Ooh. Yeah, I was just
Devin
thinking of
Booker.
Dame. Just thinking of
Okay.
Dame.
Kevin Durant.
I'm not gonna be able to include all of them. Oh,
No,
Kevin
no.
Durant. Wait,
Yeah.
I might have to change. I'm not gonna change my list because obviously I just don't think I can do that. But now I'm gonna have Kevin Durant.
Okay, Kevin Durant at 7.
Yeah. You know what? Actually, if I'm able to change my list, I'd have him before
you can.
Jimmy.
Okay, so KD at 6, Jimmy at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And now we're on 8.
We're on 8, so I gotta say Dame because a great shooter as well, and I'm really excited to see what he does this season with a good team.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna have an incredible season.
It's gonna be fun to watch for sure.
Do I only have 2 left?
Yep, just 9 and 10.
9 and 10. After Dame, I don't think I'm gonna include Harden or Paul George and Kawhi. This is tricky. This is tricky. I can't include them both. I mean, I could.
You can. I mean, it's just your list. You can if you want to.
I'm gonna put Paul George.
Paul George 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know he's been injured and everything, but I just want him to be healthy and to have a good season.
Yeah.
Again, like everyone else on this list, he's still one of the best scorers in this league. Two-way players.
And if I'm not mistaken, what happened to his knee was just like a bad hyperextension, and he didn't even tear anything up. So you got to think about it. If Paul George, maybe if that would have happened, maybe 3 weeks earlier in the season, he maybe would have been able to come back and play in the playoffs, and they could have made a better run.
Yeah. Definitely. That sucks what happened.
Yeah, it was terrible. So with that 10th spot, who you giving it to? You still got Kawhi, you still got Luka, you still got Devin Booker, you still got Jason Tatum. What's there? I don't know. I can't think of anybody else here.
Yeah.
I mean, Kyrie, if you're a Kyrie fan, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I am, but I don't know if I would include him in top 10.
Right.
So, that's tough. We got Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Kawhi. I think I'm gonna decide between Kawhi or Tatum.
Or AD.
Anthony Davis as well.
Or De'Aaron Fox. You can throw De'Aaron Fox in there. No.
If I was a huge Kings fan, I think I would just throw him in there.
Yeah.
But Kawhi or Tatum, this is tough. See, again, Kawhi's been dealing with injuries, and he's healthy now, right? Like he's ready to start the season.
Yeah, yes, that's what I've heard that he is. Yeah, he said he's getting in his grocery bag this year. So we'll see. And
Kawhi is a great defender. I mean, I think I have to. I know I said I wasn't gonna put Paul George and Kawhi, back to back, but I'm gonna put Kawhi at 10.
Okay, that's a fire list. So let me run it back.
I don't really have a lot of younger guys in there. Like I wish I could have included Tatum in there.
Yeah,
but I guess I'm just tough. Salute to the older players in this league. I still think they got it.
Yeah. So okay, so let me run it down. You got Jokic, Giannis, Steph, Bron. Fifth was
Was it Embiid or
Embiid. Yeah, you did put
yeah?
Embiid fifth. Then KD, Jimmy, KD, Jimmy, Dame, Paul George, Kawhi. Okay,
Yeah.
Jokic, Giannis, Steph, Bron, Embiid, KD, Jimmy. Yep, Jimmy, Dame, PG, Kawhi. That's fire. Fireless. It's not that's how you know the league is still really good when
Yeah.
Luka, Devin Booker, and Tatum don't make the top 10 list.
I
That's
know
fire.
I feel bad not including them, but there's some of these players that obviously are older and maybe we haven't seen them recently because they've been injured. They're still great despite them being injured. They're still
Mm-hmm.
going, heading into the season healthy and they could have a great season.
Right. Well, before we do wrap it up, though, Mill, I want to kind of get into your New York Knicks. I want to kind of, I want to hear how you feel this league, how this season's gonna go. If you think y'all need to make any moves, what's the ceiling for y'all? Do y'all think y'all can make a championship push, or what do you need to make a championship push? Let's hear it. I know you on the panel. Sometimes it's kind of a lot going on, so maybe you don't get to feel you go get your whole take off. So let's talk about it. Tell the people, how do you feel about your New York Knicks?
Going into the new season, I have to have a positive attitude. I don't want to be negative and be complaining about anything yet. When that time comes, if they're on a losing streak, then I'll complain. So I'm happy about them right now. Looking into it, you know, um, our ceiling, I would say, it's tough because of matchups. So you can never really predict how far you can go in the playoffs without knowing the matchups right now.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to say we can obviously make the second round again because
Okay.
that's what we did last year, and I believe that we have the potential to do it again. But the Eastern Conference Finals, I'm not sure, but I'm gonna be hopeful and say that we can do it.
Yeah.
A lot of people are underestimating our Knicks right now and trying to disrespect us.
Mm-hmm.
But we do have Julius Randle, and you can't say he's not a good player because he made the All NBA team twice, and he made the All Star team last year, and he's
Mm-hmm.
one of our, he's the second best player on this team. You can't discredit him.
Behind who?
Brunson.
Behind Jalen. Okay.
I know
How do you
that's
how do you how do you
that's a
feel about
hot take.
RJ?
RJ.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's also hope that RJ is a all-star caliber player this year and he is ready to take that next leap because that can also help us be a top team in the East as well.
Mm-hmm.
Last year they called Jalen Brunson, Julius Randle, and RJ Barrett the mid three. I don't know if you ever saw that.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear that. No.
I remember it was all over Instagram. They were saying we're the mid three because I don't know. It was like a time when we weren't like going crazy, but we were winning games and our big three was performing well.
Right.
So that's what they considered us. And I think that this trio is underrated. I know it.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of people are like, "What? Like RJ Barrett sucks and everything," but yeah, he was disappointing last season. But if you watched him in the playoffs, you would say there's a lot of hope for him. To
Yeah.
start this season strong and to take
Right.
another leap to be a better player and improve. His defense, I would say, is not his strong suit.
Mm-hmm.
He is struggling from that side of the ball. So I would love to see him improve on that end. And obviously, on the offensive end, just be efficient. His main thing
Right.
is he wasn't that efficient last year. There was a lot of things that happened to him between like a few injuries with his finger and then getting sick a couple times. So
Mm-hmm.
he kind of had a messed up season because of that. But I just
Are
want him
you?
to, yeah,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just want him to stay efficient.
Yeah.
It's important to give your best effort every game, even if he's not having a good offensive game, to try your best on the defensive end because at least
Mm-hmm.
show up on defense.
Exactly. That's a great mindset.
Yeah. And one thing I noticed though, we only had one preseason game so far. He didn't
Mm-hmm.
shoot that well, but he had 9 free throws, which I think
Okay.
is amazing because
Yeah.
if he's not shooting well, obviously I'd love to see him take it to the basket and get to
Mhm.
the free throw line. That's what you want from all of your players when they're not shooting well. So
Right.
if he can average more free throw attempts this year and more free throws made, I think that could get him to that next leap. You know, all the great players, they're great at drawing contact and getting to the free throw line multiple times throughout the game. So he needs to do that as well. And hopefully he could get the calls this year because, you know, it's also up to the refs to respect that player and, you know that they've been fouled to give them that call.
True. True.
Yeah.
Um, are as a Knicks fan, are the Knicks community? Are you guys waiting on Donovan Mitchell?
I think it's pretty split right now because
Okay.
um after Donovan Mitchell went to the Cavs, we were kind of over it. We moved on. You know, he's there. That's his future. But as of recently, this summer, I saw a lot of people that were saying, "Let's wait for Donovan Mitchell for free agency."
Mhm.
Me personally, if the time comes and he's a free agent and he wants to sign with the Knicks, I'm all for it. You know,
Yeah.
why wouldn't
Okay.
if he's a free agent and obviously he loves New York, he loves being
Yeah.
in the city. So if he wants to be here, I'm for it.
Right.
But yeah, it's pretty split right now. I'd say the fan base is split about it, just
Yeah.
because a lot of people are saying that wouldn't be. He's a small guard as well, and him and Jalen, it just wouldn't be a good pairing to have them both, starting, and that defense would probably not be the best.
Right. Right. Um. So, and you were saying because I saw that clip where you had kind of gave the take about the Eastern Conference Finals, and I commented on it, and I said if the matchups are right, if certain teams like the Cavaliers can knock off certain teams for you guys, I don't see any reason why you can't get to the Eastern
Yeah.
Conference Finals. So, with that being said, I kind of want to run down a couple of teams and ask you which of these teams can you guys beat in a 7-game series. So, in the playoffs. Which of these teams can you guys beat in the 7-game series, and kind of where does the love stop? So this year's Miami Heat roster, as they're constructed now after losing Gabe Vincent, losing Max Strus, could you guys avenge that last year? Can you beat them?
I want to say that we do. That was the hope for before the playoff series this year.
Mhm.
But Miami Heat is their Jimmy Butler. Like
Right.
he's crazy. So like you never know with the Miami Heat, as we saw last year as an 8 seed, though how far they were able to make it. That was surprising to everyone.
Hmm.
I want to say that we do beat them again though, because we have to learn from our mistakes. Like
Hmm.
we learned a lot. I'm pretty sure the team learned a lot from that series last year. It was the worst I've seen the Knicks play all season.
Yeah.
So if we were to rematch against them, I would say they would take the series.
Okay. So now Miami. What about Atlanta? I know you guys got history with Atlanta. Trey Young,
Yeah,
going in the Garden. You guys beat Atlanta.
of course, 100%.
Oh,
I
yes,
know
beat Atlanta.
we would beat Atlanta. Okay, we would have
Okay.
to too because
Right.
we're not letting Trey Young have another showdown in the Garden.
Yeah, I don't think the Knicks fan base can survive another thing,
Yeah,
another one like that from
I
Trey
wouldn't want to
Young.
deal with that again.
Right. Chicago.
Yeah, I would say we'd beat Chicago in a 7 game series too.
Okay.
I don't remember what how many games we beat how many games we won against them last season, but every time we played the Bulls, we would kill them. I remember
Right.
that though.
Okay. And what about you guys' little brothers out in Brooklyn? You guys beat the Knicks. You guys beat the
Oh,
little cousin,
well,
the Nets. I'm
honestly,
sorry, the Nets.
yeah. I would say the Knicks obviously take the 7 game series as well because Knicks are better than the Nets. Knicks run New York. I know some people want to say the Nets run New York, but let me make it straight that the Knicks run New York. But I want to say that if Ben Simmons can keep up what he's been doing in the preseason, they're gonna be a dark horse in the NBA in the East. You
Right.
know, Ben
Okay.
Simmons, Mikal Bridges, you know, that pairing I think could be deadly if they're both performing at their highest level. Then you got
Hmm.
Spencer Dinwiddie and you have Claxton and a few other guys on their team that could definitely score the ball and stuff. So I think they could be a dark horse, and they may take us to. Oh well, you said in a series of you said a game 7 or just a
Yeah,
series?
no, just a 7-game series.
Oh
Mhm,
yeah,
go
yeah.
so.
So I would say that series would go pretty far.
Okay, respect the Nets. I know I got some brothers from Brooklyn in the house. You know, I got some Nets fans in here. You know, shout out to Brooklyn, shout out the Nets.
Yeah.
So that's you know that's love though. You know, at least you know saying it's not like you guys will sweep them or anything.
No. I think they would put up a fight. You know, I don't know for sure if Ben Simmons is really back, but if he is, then he would have an incredible season if he is.
Okay. What about the Cleveland Cavaliers? I know y'all took care of them fairly easy last season.
Yeah, we did. We definitely won that series, and it felt like it was easy. But as the Cavs having a rematch at that, they would definitely want to win the series, and I'm pretty sure, you know, they would also learn from their mistakes. So I think that would go pretty deep too, as as a playoff series. It would go pretty far. Maybe
Okay.
to a game. I would see that game going to a game 7 too. I think it would be
Okay.
a crazy matchup because, you know, the whole Donovan Mitchell to New York thing is like the drama there and everything. But I see them improving just because of the way that their playoffs went. They weren't happy about that. So I definitely see them learning from their mistakes and improving. But I would still take the Knicks.
Okay. Just a couple more teams. I want to start let's get to the top dogs in the East. Starting with the 76ers. Do you think you guys take them on in the 7-game series?
Oof. Well, are things set in stone yet if James Harden is staying with them? Because that might determine my answer.
Right. So are they better with or without James?
Are the Sixers better without James?
Oh yeah. Do you think they're better with him or without him?
Well,
I mean, obviously it depends on who they get back. But.
Yeah, it depends on what they get back, but I think the Knicks would have a better chance without James Harden. So but you know, he's on the roster right now and he's there. So I'm gonna say if he's there, it's tough. I feel like they might still have the edge over the Knicks. You know, just because we don't really have someone that could stop Joel Embiid like that. When he gets on a rampage, you can't stop him. We don't really have a premier defender like that.
Right.
So, you know, it also depends if he's having a good series, but I might have to take the Sixers on that one.
And okay, so obviously the top 2 teams, the Celtics. Can you guys upset the Celtics in the playoffs?
Another tough one because the new look Celtics are looking crazy with Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday. So that's a tough lineup to go against my Knicks.
Yeah, for anybody.
Yeah, for anybody.
Yeah.
And you know, I'm not saying I want anyone to get hurt, but you also don't know who's going to be available by then because they do have a few injury-prone players. Porzingis right there. If everyone's healthy, though, I have to say that the Celtics would win that series.
Mm-hmm. And do I have to ask about Milwaukee?
No, definitely not.
No. Okay. All right. Well, I mean,
I'm excited for that Christmas game, though. We play Milwaukee on the Christmas.
Really? Is that the Christmas game? Milwaukee? Oh, is it gonna be Madison Square Garden? I'm sure it's gonna play at home, right?
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah, that's a great game. I can't wait for that too. Can't wait for that. You plan on going to any Knicks games this year? Do you ever get to the Garden?
I actually haven't been to Madison Square Garden in a few years. Last time I went was like 2018, 2019. So I definitely want to go to a few games this year because it's been a while.
Yeah. Well, I definitely hope you get to a couple. That's awesome. Do you watch any WNBA? You tapped into the WNBA at all? I mean, I see the New York Liberty. They're in the finals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been watching the New York Liberty this past season. A little upset right now because they're down 2-0 against the Aces. So
well, Mel, you wouldn't be upset if you would have listened to me and heard me from the beginning. I was trying to let everybody know way back before the playoffs even started that the Aces were going to run through the playoffs. They were going to run through the Liberty, but they don't never listen to me, Mel.
It sucks though because I mean the Liberty had a great season and they've been playing phenomenal up until this point, and I don't even know what it is because we've beat the Aces a few times throughout the season and then also through their in-game tournament, that they have that. So we beat them in that tournament. And the Liberty are also are a good road team, so it's really surprising to see that they've not been playing well against them. I don't know what it is, like playoff jitters or just like cracking under pressure. I mean, if you look in the game, you could obviously analyze it, with specific things, especially their point
Mm,
guard has not been performing well.
yeah,
Stewie, she's doing all right, but for the MVP of this year, she needs to step up and lead her team to some wins.
right.
Um, but they're honestly reminding me of the Knicks. Like every time I watch the Liberty, I swear they're reminding me of the Knicks, and it's not in a good way. It's in a bad way.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I'm sorry to have to, sorry to have to break the news to you, but that's not going to happen. The Liberty, they're not going to get it done.
If they don't,
Um,
yeah.
yes, we'll see about it. I mean, I'm actually, but the Liberty they're on to something though, because Sabrina's not going to play like this. If next time they get to the finals, I'm sure Sabrina's going to be able to show up. She'll be ready. So.
Yeah.
It's a bright future. It's a bright future for the squad. I'm looking forward to it for years to come. I'm a huge WNBA fan, so I'm definitely going to be tapped in. I actually live streamed during the game on Wednesday, and I would definitely be live streaming again on Sunday. You let me know if you want to drop in. I'll send you the link. We always have a lot of fun when we live streaming again, just fun. But before we head out though, Milk, one more time, go ahead and plug all your platforms, plug your channels, make sure everybody, y'all make sure y'all follow, like, subscribe, however, whatever it is to all the Mills media.
Appreciate that. Yeah, thank you. My Instagram is mill.media and my Twitter is millsportsmedia and my TikTok is millsportsmedia as well. And if you do want to check out, I am on YouTube you can search up Big Nick Energy. I know it sounds funny, but you can search that up, and I've made a few videos on there and plan to make more.
Yeah, man, y'all make sure to do that. Make sure y'all like this video on the way out. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share it to everybody. Mill had some really good takes, some really good top 10 lists for the season going in. And appreciate y'all for stopping by. Mill, I appreciate you. Appreciate you, spending time up here on the Oxtail show. Thank you for telling your story. Actually, Mill, let me ask you one more question before you go. So, Mill Media, right here at this point, where do you see Mill Media in 5 years?
In 5 years, I hope that I'll be working for MSG for the Knicks.
Okay.
That's a bold take because there's not a lot of people that can make it into that, but that's what I'm saying.
That's great. That's great. Hey, well, we're pulling for you. Man, not just working for MSG, man. I'm talking about up there, making things happen, making things shake, interviewing all the big people, doing your thing, Mill. We appreciate you. Keep going hard. Good luck this season for the Giants.
Good luck.
Yeah, good luck with those guys. And good luck this season with the Knicks, and keep speaking that to existence. You want to work for MSG, you want to work for the Knicks, you know what I'm saying? Keep that positive energy. Don't never let up. Embrace the adversity and visualize where you want to be. Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate everybody in the chat, man. Y'all show this video some love. Y'all show Mill some love. And hopefully we'll get you back up here someday, Mill. Appreciate you.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate you having me on. It was a pleasure talking to you.
Of course, anytime. You're more than welcome over here in any shows. You want to come back on Oxtails, you're more than welcome. You want to come on the Graveyard Shift, you're more than welcome. You want to be on NSB sometime, you're more than welcome. And then we'll kind of leave it at that. We'll leave it at that.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. So I appreciate you. Have a good night.
You too.
All right.